80% of companies that try to monetize their data fail. Not because the data is bad, not because the technology doesn't work. They fail in the middle, and the space between having data and getting value from it. I've spent more than 20 years in that middle. I've processed billions of miles across multiple continents. I started at what was then the world's largest source of commercial fleet telematics data, and I took that data set from earning nothing to generating real revenue. Some of what we built became the traffic predictive analytics that today powers the real-time arrival estimates on your phone. After that, years in insurance telematics, watching the same structural patterns play out between technology companies and legacy organizations over and over again. Here's what I learned. The technology almost always works, the models are usually right, and none of that matters, because the hard part was never the data or the technology. Across industries, deep technology, smart cities, connected health, manufacturing, agriculture, transportation, companies are generating massive amounts of data as a byproduct of their core business. And management often regards the whole effort to monetize it as an expensive distraction from the business that actually pays the bills. That's before you get to the questions nobody has good answers for. The person on the other side of the table may not even know what product could be built from the data they're sitting on, and neither do you yet. Who pays whom? How much? For what exactly? And most of these markets, those answers don't exist. They have to be invented. And inventing them takes longer than building the technology that created that data. And the startups working on the problem? Many of them are in markets with monetization timelines that don't fit the timelines of their capital providers. The data says the opportunity is real. The fund says you have 5 years. The market says it takes 10. I call that space the operating layer. It's the practical reality of what happens when models, technology, and capital meet actual organizations run by actual humans, in markets where the business models themselves are still being invented. And it's the same structural pattern whether you're insurance, industrial IoT, deep technology, precision agriculture, connected health, maritime, or smart city infrastructure. The specific technology changes, the operating layer physics don't. That's what this show is about. Structural Signal brings on executives navigating technology adoption inside legacy organizations. Founders who can't figure out why their data asset isn't generating revenue. Capital allocators who are learning that their fund structure may be incompatible with the markets they're trying to transform. And operators from across the sensor data world who've lived in that gap between a demo that works and an organization that won't move. Some episodes are conversations. Some are solo analysis where I lay out the frameworks and the data. Every episode comes back to the same question. What actually happens when your model hits a real organization? If you're sitting on sensor data and you can't figure out why the gold mine hasn't produced gold, this show is about your problem. I'm Kevin Henderson. This is Structural Signal. New episodes weekly. Subscribe now on the leading podcast platform so you don't miss the first one.